Hey everybody, what's going on? Will here with another Walking Dead video for you. I want to talk about Daryl Dixon, the first 4 episode titles that we got. Now we got these, I want to say almost a week ago, but I did not even know about this until here recently, and I wanted to do a quick video about it, talk about the titles and everything, and kind of maybe go over what they could possibly mean, because there's a couple of them in here that kind of point at maybe the general tone of those particular episodes or what have you. And of course, with this season taking place in Spain, the titles are in Spanish, but I have them in English because I don't speak Spanish and I don't want to butcher it and make it sound stupid. So I wanted to just go over the titles and just talk about, I guess, my general um, anticipation or hopes for the season, considering that we know for sure now that Daryl will end after season 4, and they should go into filming season 4. I actually think they're into that now, and then Dead City season 3 will start filming here in about a month. Along with that, Daryl Dixon also premiering here in about a month. So, there's some stuff going on in the Walking Dead world now, but with delays and everything, that kind of threw both these shows off track where we didn't get season 2 of Dead City until just here in the last couple of months. And now we're going into season 3 where Daryl Dixon's premiering season 3, and then we'll get probably season 4 before we get season 4 of Dead City, because there's a lot of rumors that Dead City will also end with season 4. So I'm kind of actually hoping that's the way it goes, because I want to see these shows wrapped up. I want to see our stories wrapped up, get our reunions, get our characters back, maybe have them meet up somewhere in the Alexandria area, which would actually probably pretty unlikely considering everything's gone, and the Commonwealth studio lot is actually still intact from everything that I understand. But there's still hopes that they will do that. They will give us our reunions, but there's still also just the little nugget of possibility that they're going to come up with some other weird random spinoff that has nothing to do with anything, or just pulls it in another direction, or just drags these characters out longer than they already have. So there's definitely still that possibility, but we are hoping on hope that we will get our reunions maybe within the next couple of years, or at least by maybe 2030. Hopefully not that far away, but you just never freaking know. But with this, I just want to talk about the episode titles and everything, and kind of go over what they could possibly be alluding to. Some of them kind of point in different directions as far as maybe character deaths or things like that. But jumping right into it, the first episode is called Coast of Death. Now, we know that when they get into London, they come across Julian. Now, Julian being played by Stephen Merchant, who is another side supporting character, as I've mentioned to nauseum in other videos. He's probably going to end up dead, because we see this in the trailer that we got. We've gotten a couple of different ones where, of course, we know that they're going to try to sail back home from London with Julian, and things do not go according to plan whatsoever. They end up in a storm, and they end up washed up in Spain. So we know that maybe even Julian could be possibly killed, but I feel like he's in the trailer and other dinner scenes once they've reached that Spanish community or whatever. But there's still the very high possibility he will be killed. He will be there to serve his purpose or whatnot. And they'll do away with him, just like they've done with every other supporting character that we've had in all of our spinoffs, because that just is the thing they do. I guess with the exception, though, which was very surprising, with Dead City, the way it ended, spoilers if you haven't watched that, but we had the Dama and then we had Croats, who both surprisingly made it out of this second season alive. We were led to believe that Dama was dead after, I want to say, the 3rd or 4th episode, and then she popped up there at the end of it, and as far as we know for next season, she's still alive. So there's that, and then of course Croats, who kind of, I don't know, he had kind of a redeeming episode. And then there's still the possibility that he's up to no good too, and that we will see him next season in one form or another. Who knows right there? Or maybe he actually meant what he said. He's going to go home back to Croatia. So there's that. And I mean, that would be a very different angle and different way of taking it, considering most people that come into Walking Dead as a supporting character, villain or not, usually end up dead. So there's that. And so who knows what they're going to do with Julian's character and whatnot. I hope he lives, but there's just not high hopes for it, unfortunately. But moving on into the second episode, it's called The Offerings. Now, what we got from the trailer also kind of alluded to the fact that this community is being ruled by a dictator. They're being ruled by this oppressive guy who basically tells them, or just flat out tells them, that you provide me with your daughters for you know what. That you provide these daughters to us and these young women, we will provide you with protection and weapons. And this is something that is just directly said in the trailer. So this is probably pointing at that. But jumping into the next one called The Sacrifice. This one, I don't know. This could be pointing at a few different things. We know that in the trailer too, Daryl kind of leans in the direction of not wanting to get involved in their conflict or what's going on with them, and Carol kind of guilts him into it, basically. And this could be the sacrifice as far as maybe an opportunity comes up to get home and they decide not to do that, but to help this community. Because we have that scene where Daryl asks for a map because he knows they're going into Barcelona. And this is them giving up the opportunity to leave to help this community, because that's just the type of people that they are. They fight for the people that can't fight for themselves. We even see as much in the trailer where Daryl says you have to fight. And so my guess is that that's what that is. But then we get our last episode, or at least the fourth episode, because we don't know the titles of the last three episodes, because we got 5, 6, and 7. But we don't know those episode titles. But jumping into this last one, we have Border Justice. This is probably just something pertaining to the fight or the battle that we're going to see everything go down in, as far as Daryl and Carol and probably people from this community stand up for themselves and they take it to the border. Or there's probably so many different things that this could possibly mean. I mean, along with the sacrifice too, I thought about this too, but this is probably more towards the end of the season where someone is going to make the sacrifice to maybe stay behind or put themselves in a bad position to help another person. So there's that too. So we got the first 4 episode titles. Not, real sure where the season's going to go. We do know that they are going to stay in Spain, because we know that season 4 is also going to be in Spain, and somehow or another this is going to go from Spain back to the US. Hopefully. That's the plan anyways, that we're hoping takes place, that they don't dick around and they get them back home somehow and we get a reunion of some sort. I have my skepticism that we will get Rick back as far as a reunion between him and Daryl. They might be saving that for a bigger event, because they have mentioned that Daryl's journey is far from over. So we got that, and it would just be, I guess, anticlimactic if they were just to be like, oh, last season we're going to get him home, they're going to have a 2-second hug or a greeting at a gate or whatever, and just be the end of it. That would be kind of a cop out too, because we're hoping that maybe if the journey is far from over, that means they're going to get home, and if Rick is in that last episode, that they have a conversation, be like, something's happening, we're glad you're back, you come back just in time, something like that, where they're setting up the last final thing with Rick and Daryl to reunite with hopefully the rest of our Alexandrians and everyone that they've made friends with or whatever over the last couple of seasons of the original show. So there's my hopes, there's my dreams. I'm definitely, like I mentioned, I'm skeptical about how they're going to accomplish this, what it's really going to entail and whatnot. And just, I guess I'm prepared for them to dash my hopes and dreams, because they've done a pretty damn good job of it for so long now. Scott Gimple is in no hurry to end these characters, everything, because he knows what a cash cow they are. So there is that, and just with everything, with some of our other shows that just ended very terribly. I mean, Fear turned into a dumpster fire of dumpster fires. And World Beyond was only meant to be a 2-season thing. It had very low ratings too. People didn't like it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. It's just the whole setup they didn't pay out like I would have hoped. And just with everything, with all of our shows, all of our characters, we're just hoping that they have some kind of idea in mind about a perfect, or at least near perfect, ending of how they want to wrap all this up, even if it means they're going to continue some other type of phase, because Scott Gimple has said that he's working on the next phase of Walking Dead. So we will see. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to go over the episode titles that we've gotten so far. Whether or not they're going to release the other episode titles, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Or if it's something they're going to kind of keep close to the chest, much like Dead City did with the last couple of episodes when they came out. They didn't release them to early reviewers, and I don't see why, because they weren't that big of a deal. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing, come back to the channel for more content just like this, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.